Here we are with Bit Shifter, who just finished his set, pretty sweet set, and a lot of people were dancing out there and having a good time. And what about yourself? You have a good time?
Had a very good time. It was a really fun event. It's great. I worked with video artist Chiaki Watanabe, and which is always a pleasure. And yeah, the crowd was really responsive, and we just had a great time.
Excellent. Now I noticed that you had several different cartridges and a couple of different Game Boys. Those different cartridges, different sequences or different type loops, or why do you have all that equipment? Essentially,
I'm using two different music programming cartridges that were custom made for the purposes of music making. Each one has their strengths and weaknesses, and I have multiple copies of each of them actually because the way I work is to essentially load a single song onto a cartridge at a time, play it and modify it as it's playing, and somewhere in there also try to load the next cartridge to keep a song-to-song sequence flowing pretty naturally. So I'm using multiple cartridges for that purpose, just so sort of a set logistics really. As one is playing, load the song on the next one. I'm using multiple Game Boys sort of for the same reason, just so as one finishes, I have another song ready on the other Game Boy. So that's really the story, behind the multiple units.
Cool. It makes sense. It's an unconventional medium, but it's kind of the same kind of DJ concept.
Essentially, yeah.
What's next? Are you going to try anything else? Can you hack into any kind of other game console or any kind of appliance or anything like that?
I haven't tried microwaves or refrigerators yet, but people smarter than myself have done things like repurposing Nintendo Entertainment System, the original home console, into a music-making device. That kind of thing requires more of a technical know-how than I have, but I'm in awe of people who are doing that. And I think that between that and a lot of artists who are working in this aesthetic often are using old Commodore computers, Commodore 64, and other sort of dated gear like that. And so I think that while that is often technically beyond my capabilities, it's certainly happening, and it's really kind of exciting to see these old units given sort of a new life in music making.
Very cool. Now, some of the samples sounded a little bit familiar, some of the games. So do you actually lift certain samples from certain games, like Donkey Kong or whatever it is, or is that something that's just made on the fly?
That's a common question, and actually the story is that the Game Boys are essentially equipped with a sound chip, and a lot of the sounds end up sounding similar because it's the same sound chip being used whether you're playing Super Mario Brothers or whether you're playing one of the music-making cartridges I'm using, but they aren't direct samples. So while there may be moments of evocative of old video games, they are actually essentially new sounds being created and being directed by the nature of the sequence that is running, telling the sound chip what kind of sounds to make. So there's often a little bit of familiarity to the sounds that come out.
Okay, very cool. Well, thank you very much.
Sure, my pleasure.
That's great. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Hope so. Thanks very much.
Thanks.